Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Shady Rays. Go to shadyrays.com and use code SGPN for 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. We're also brought to you by our NBA Playoff Survivor Challenge. We're giving away $250 cash and a $100 gift card. Sign up today exclusively on the SGPN app. Welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is Tuesday, the 11th of April, and we've got a three-way here to handicap a full slate of games for Wednesday the 12th. And our first wheel tonight from Houston, Texas, Mr. Munaf Manji. Munaf, how are you doing?
Doing well. Glad to be here with you boys. Just grinding away MLB, man. It's always a good time. Hopefully we can find some more winners for the listeners. I know it's been a pretty good start to the season, so hopefully we can keep it going.
Yeah, well, I need to come on to my picks last night, but I'll do that once I've introduced our third wheel, which is Mr. Noah Bieniek. Noah, great hat.
How's it going, everybody? It's happy 412 day, April 12th. That's the area code of Pittsburgh, Malcolm. The other show that I wasn't on, you were like, 412, that's a weird start time. Well, it was Pittsburgh's home opener.
Shit, yes.
That's the area code. So I've actually had a couple of buddies ask me why the game is not being played at 4:12 on April 12th. It's a 12:35 start time. So that's a little bit weird in the Pittsburgh area. But yeah, this hat looks a little bit weird on me. It's small. Ever since I grew my hair out, it doesn't fit my head anymore. But you know what? I'm wearing it for the one day, and then people will get a kick out of it. But
is there a name for that type of hat?
I don't know. It feels like it's like a conductor's hat, but I don't know what the term or what they call it, but I love it. But yes, so I'm going to put out a petition that we get the Aaron Savali thumbnail changed since he landed himself on the IL. We had the thumbnails changed like at the beginning of the week. Maybe we can get a Kutch thumbnail for 4-1 today. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, there's been interview. I've made my notes. I handicapped these games earlier on, and by nearly all of them, I would say about half, at least half, there are some IL stuff going on. We've got a couple of late pitching changes. We've got loads of people who've gone to the IL. The YouTube comments is open. Captain Sano's first in. We managed to avoid. I know Munaf gets angry when we have fantasy chats, but I'm playing Captain Insano this week, Munaf, in the D-Gens Fantasy League.
I'm playing Blake from the
so it's
Baseball Money is Fake.
You're up against the big boys, yeah. So I'm thoroughly looking forward to spanking Captain Insano this week. Brackets again, after I spanked him last year. So yeah, we'll see how that transpires as the week goes. However, I will need my fantasy stuff to be a little bit better than my picks last night. My goodness, I put the highlights on this morning. And just watched in disbelief is everything that I picked was wrong or was right but went wrong. It just, I don't know, last night was a strange night. My tally site numbers suggested I did better than I thought I had. So maybe it wasn't as bad as all that. But yeah, it was just a really weird night. But we'll get to all of those things as we cut with them. Like I say, there's a lot of teams have sort of notes beside them that I picked up from watching the games this morning that happened last night. We've got no day baseball.
There you go. I like that term.
Daysball. We'll just write that down. Yeah, that's going straight in the baseball album, right?
SGPN store.
Yeah, no daysball today. So nothing to keep up on. The first game starts in around about 1 hour. From now. The Cubs game went in about 2 hours and 4 minutes yesterday. We talked about the pitching clock, the pitch clock shortening stuff up 2 hours and 4 minutes, and the Brewers were the first team today to announce that they'd be opening the bars beyond the seventh inning, just because they haven't got enough time to sell all the beer. So they're taking a hit in the pocket due to the pitch clock. So the bars are opening.
Formerly named Miller Park, but they got a ton of more. They have a lot more beers coming in instead of just Miller, and they're trying to sell them all. They need an extra inning.
Yeah. So the pitch clock's not doing beer sales any good. But yeah, it's a interesting card of games for tomorrow. I'll tell you first about Shady Rays before we start handicapping these games. Shady Rays, our friends there who have got you covered from the sun to the slopes. I noticed Munaf and Mrs. Munaf had their Shady Rays last week, looking very swanky. They were two customizable snow goggles, polarized premium shades, you name it. Shady Rays have got it for you. They're an independent sunglasses company, durable frames, extremely clear optics, and they will replace broken and lost pairs as well. Even on day one, they'll send you a brand new pair, no questions asked. So you can wear your Shady Rays with confidence. You can look good and feel good. And to date, they've also donated over 20 million meals to fight hunger with Feeding America. If you don't love them, exchange them for a new pair or return them for free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop with Shady Rays. Exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the new year. Go to shadyrays.com, use the code SGPN for 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself. The shade's rated 5 stars by over 200,000 people. And don't forget the NBA Survivor Challenge. Make sure to check out our NBA Playoffs Survivor Challenge, completely free to enter. The winner gets $250 in cash and $100 SGPN gift card exclusively on the SGPN app. Munaf has been working his fingers to the bone on NBA playoffs. So go and listen to the NBA Gambling Podcast. Munaf will give you all the winners. I'll tap you up privately for a few winners, Munaf, like I normally do. I know you like it when I do that. So MLB tomorrow starts with, let's have a little look. First game is not 4:12, which it should be. It's a 12:35 Eastern first pitch between the Astros and the Pirates, where Jose Urquidy will go for Houston. Rich Hill, left-handed pitcher, goes for Pittsburgh. Minus 160 on the Astros, plus 140 on the Pirates. Total is set at 8.5. Urquidy has pitched 2 games. Hasn't been the pitcher of record yet in either. He's given up 14 hits and 4 earned on 9 1/3. It's been a little bit underwhelming, I think. He's given up 7 hits in both starts. He gave up 2 home runs against the White Sox. His fastball's not been up to much. 394 last year, which was absolutely fine. He was better on the road last year, and he didn't see Pittsburgh at all. So I kind of expect a standard outing here from Urquidy, something similar to what he's shown us already. And that really should be good enough, because if we get a Rich Hill standard outing, that's going to be trouble for Pittsburgh. He's had 2 awful starts. He has an ERA of 10, a level 10 in the 2 games he started. The underlying metrics might be the worst I've looked at so far this season as well. Little blue dots all over them. Houston are heating up with the bat. Alvarez and Tucker were among the runs last night. As much as I was trying to find a fancy way of handicapping this, I couldn't. So I think Houston on the run line at plus 100 is a great price. I also wouldn't put you off the over as well, because I do think Pittsburgh can take Urquidy for a couple. Maybe they can contribute 3 overall. So if Houston can put up 6 or 7, the over 8.5 is well and truly in play. But the main pick's going to be Houston on the run line at plus 100. I'll come straight across to you, Noah, because I know Pittsburgh, big Pittsburgh day, and Rich Hill is a big Pittsburgh guy. But you're expecting good things?
Dick Mountain on 412. No. See, the Astros nerve me a little bit here. I would go the Pirates almost against any other team in the MLB. But like you said, the Astros lineup, they were scuffling early. They seem to have figured it out lately. I am not the biggest fan of Urquidy or Hill, and I liked the over. You said 8.5. You handicapped this one probably a little bit earlier over there. All of the numbers have moved to 9. I can see on my board right now. So you had that one sharp. I still like the over 9. We can get that at minus or actually plus 100 right now. That's where I would land for this game. I think that a lot of runs will be scored by both sides. The offense for the Pirates will show up on the special day, but I don't know if they'll be able to pull it out.
Yeah, there was a couple of games where I've actually ended up writing down a couple of totals on. Sort of 7.5s have moved to 8, 8.5s have gone to 9. There has been some movement today. Munaf, how did you feel about your hometown Houston?
Yeah, I mean, you guys nailed it. Nothing much more to add there. I think we'll see runs in this game, whether we're going to look at first 5-inning team totals or even full game team totals. I think this could end in the realm of 7-6, 8-7, something like that. I just don't trust either starting pitcher here. So I would just look at team totals and agree about the over in this game as well.
Okay, next we will go to a 1:10 Eastern first pitch between the San Diego Padres and the New York Mets. Left-hander Blake Snell is the pitcher for the Padres, and Tyler McGill goes to the hill. That rhymed, not on purpose, for the New York Mets. The bookies can't split them. It is a match, minus 110 each of two. Total is set at 8.5, and we'll send this across to Munaf.
I have it. I'll take the lead here. Tyler McGill, he's having a very nice start to the season with a 1.64 ERA, 10 strikeouts, 4 walks in 11 innings. The last time we saw Blake Snell throw against the Mets was in the 2022 postseason, where he threw 5 shutout innings in a win. The Mets offense has started slow so far this year, but they've been slightly better against lefties with a 756 OPS. Compared to a 616 versus righties. So when I said slightly misspoke there. They've been very good, or I guess much better against lefties compared to righties, where they've been pretty anemic against right-handed pitching, ranking 26th in the majors in OPS. Blake Snell has been off to a bad start too against the Braves and the Rockies. A minus 105 price I see on PointsBet. Right now, that's my lean. I like the Mets here to win the game here.
Munaf, Padres and the Mets.
Yeah, I mean, you guys mentioned that Blake Snell's off to a rough start. I am trying to but I'm waiting for this offense to kind of really come around for the New York Mets. Tyler McGill has gotten off to a great start. Like Noah mentioned, he's both games that he's pitched so far this season were against the Marlins, where he was really good. 11 innings pitched, only allowed 2 earned runs in that span. Against the Padres, he hasn't faced them yet, but I think that success can continue here for Tyler McGill. I'll lean with the Mets here. I wouldn't be surprised if this is another game that we do see runs being put up. So slight lean towards the over, but I think I like the hometown team here better.
The Mets are a team I'm really struggling with. I took the Padres last night. I was quite confident that Darvish over Scherzer. It just didn't happen. The Mets looked a little bit better last night. They were quite sharp in the field, I thought. Did you see the two rollers down the third base line as well? That both stayed fair, almost identical. It was remarkable. I can't remember who nubbed the first one. The second one was Thomas Needle, the catcher. And they both went about 6 yards up the line and stayed 1 centimetre fair. And the Mets took advantage. So, yeah, just things went their way last night. But they did look sharp. And you know what? I'm just a bit bored of Blake Snell. I can never get him right. And he annoys me, like, he frustrates me. And I wiped the slate clean. I had a little, I said, Blake, we're going to start the season afresh. I'm going to give you a chance. I'm already sick of him. So, yeah, give me the Mets on the money line, minus 110.
Keep an eye on Pete Alonso, too, averaging an exit velocity of 96.7 off of Snell whenever he puts the ball in play. He's got a home run against him. He's batting 310 at-bats. So, that's the only guy that really jumps off the page for PVB against Snell, even though Snell's faced this Mets lineup quite a bit.
Next up, 1:10 Eastern first pitch, the Chicago White Sox at the Minnesota Twins. Lucas Giolito goes for the White Sox, and Sonny Gray is the pitcher for Minnesota. The White Sox plus 130, Minnesota minus 149. This is I've seen 7.5s and 8s here. on the total. Munaf, the White Sox at the Twins.
Yeah, Lucas Giolito on the mound for the White Sox, like you mentioned. Two starts this season. One was against the Astros and one was against the Pirates. He got blasted by the Pirates, 7 earned runs off of 12 hits in just 4 innings pitched. He has an ERA of 9.00 this season. In his career against the the Twins. I'm sorry, no, I come saying the Pirates. He did face the Pirates earlier, but against the Twins, he's 8-8 with a 4.16 ERA. On the road against the Twins, 5-2 with a 3.38 ERA. Since the 2020 season against the Twin, he does have a record of 2-0 with a 2.10 ERA in 5 starts. He hasn't allowed more than 2 earned runs in any of those starts. Last season, during the day games, Giolito did struggle where he did post a 3-3 record, but an ERA of 5.08. Sonny Gray is a starter for the Minnesota Twins. He's off to a great start this season. He's pitched against the Astros, Kansas City Royals, where he is one with a sub-1 ERA, total of 12 innings pitched, and he's only allowed 1 earned run in that span. He has struggled against the White Sox since the 2021 season in 4 starts against the White Sox. In that span, he's 0-2 with a 6.05 ERA. I'm not sure if I could trust either one of these pitchers, at least against a division opponent. If you put a gun to my head, I would go with Sonny Gray, just because he's off to a better start. But I kind of lean towards the first 5 over in this game. I think Giolito's struggles do continue against for the season and against the Twins. And again, I just don't trust him pitching during the day. I think there is something there when we talk about day and night splits for some of these pitchers. So I went with the first 5 over. Full game, I would lean towards the Minnesota Twins.
Yeah, well, I've talked myself out. I don't know if you heard the show last night at all, but I have put the White Sox completely and utterly on the naughty step for 14 days. They are in instant auto fade. I'm not even handicapping the games. I'm just going to back the opposition. I watched them yesterday. They were so bad. The lineup is terrible, but the fundamentals, sometimes you can cobble stuff together with a bad lineup. You could try a few different things. The White Sox appear to have no plan of action. Awful. So I just that's me. So this is day 2 of fading them. So I'll be taking Minnesota on the money line at -149. And since I put them into auto fade, they lost Tim Anderson, which actually we mentioned last night, was that every infield play that the White Sox had, they tried to kill Tim Anderson. They were actively booby trapping themselves. It was one of the oddest things I've ever seen. Anderson did go to the 10-day IL with a knee sprain, which he incurred in some infield shenanigans yesterday. So that just makes it even worse. So yeah, give me the Twins, please. Noah?
I am going to go with the team's hard to back. However, I'm a little bit higher on Giolito's past 6 games against the Twins since the start of 2021. Sorry, 7 games. I cut the sample size basically in the last quarter that he's pitched against the Twins, since he's thrown like 20 games against them. He's only a 251 ERA against the Twins. He's done really well against them. And if you look under the hood, the numbers are pretty damn good, with only a 168 batting average against them, looking at the Twins' current roster. So I'm going to take the Twins team total under. Malcolm kind of talked me off of the White Sox money line. So there you go.
Don't be swayed. Don't be swayed by my silliness. I just couldn't have them last night. I was thrashing around in the bath watching them, just getting more and more agitated by everything they did. They were terrible.
You're right. I mean, I watched them the whole weekend play the Pirates, and yeah, I mean, to speak on that, because you guys talked about it yesterday, O'Neal Cruz was kind of in the wrong. He wasn't sliding. Like he waited too long to slide, and the other thing is Carlos Santana didn't leave the on-deck circle to let him know that the play was coming to home. There was a runner on first base, and O'Neal Cruz figured that there was going to be a double play turned instead of a play made at home. So Cruz did not expect a play. Therefore, he didn't slide on time and hurt himself and almost hurt Sebi Zavala, the catcher, there too.
Yeah, it was a right old mess, wasn't it? 1:10 Eastern first pitch is the New York Yankees at the Cleveland Guardians. Now, this is the one weird one of the night. Oh, actually, there's later on the Angels. We've got a TBD pitcher. We think we have a name, or it sounds Noah's made up a name, possibly. Clark Schmidt goes for the New York Yankees. And what's the made up name, Noah, that you gave me earlier?
Peyton Battenfield.
Peyton Battenfield.
Yep.
I don't know if I'm buying that. For the Cleveland Guardians. So I've got no odds, I've got no totals. Tell us more things, Noah.
I'm telling you that I am frustrated with the Guardians in this decision because they're just holding on to Gavin Williams. He's primed and ready to be competitive at the major league level right now, but they're choosing Battenfield. He was great at Oklahoma State, but he was a reliever in college, and he was all right in his first 2 years in the minor leagues as a starter. But in 2022, he threw 50 more innings than any year before, and that was at the AAA level. And it was the first season of his career that he had a below 9 K per nine. So he's striking out less guys at the beginning of this year as well. Also, spring training, he didn't have the best start either. So it's just his prospect status kind of lost its luster, and they're just manipulating Williams' service time. So it's a little frustrating. I'm kind of wondering if he should go back to a reliever again. But as for this game, Battenfield going up against Clark Schmidt, sure, he might be at an even level compared to them in talent. But there's a lot of pressure when you make your first MLB start against the Yankees. I am probably leaning towards the over, thinking that both pitchers give up a few, and the Yankees probably win this game here. So,
yeah, fair enough. Munaf, do you hang around with people named Peyton Battenfield, and do you have any leans on this game?
Unfortunately, I do not. So I didn't even handicap this game.
No, you don't look like the sort of guy who's got friends called Peyton Battenfield. Just to add, the only reason Peyton Battenfield, I'm going to say it again, is making the start is that Aaron Savali headed to the IL today. He's another one from man down. I've got nothing on this game at all. Bugger all to offer up, so we can scooch past this one and move on to a 2:20 Eastern. First pitch between the Seattle Mariners and the Chicago Cubs. Logan Gilbert for the Mariners, Marcus Stroman for the Cubs. It is a match, minus 110 each of two. I see no total for the usual reasons. Logan Gilbert is 0-1 on the season. He's pitched 10 innings, gave up 10 hits, 4 earned runs. Marcus Stroman is 2-0. 12 innings pitched, 5 hits, 0 earned runs. Gilbert's faced Cleveland twice. They lost both games. He had 2 very, very similar stat lines. He will be fine, Logan Gilbert. I've got no issues with him particularly. He hasn't pitched in Wrigley Field before. He was fine on the road last season. Seattle haven't had the best of starts. They're 4-7. They do have an expected win-loss of 6-5. So they've been unluckier than most so far this season. Marcus Stroman, however, has been great. Munaf turned me onto him on opening day, I think it was. 2 great home starts, and there's no reason why he can't go the same way again. The Cubs are obviously always competitive at home. So in this match, I'm going to take the Cubs here. Behind Stroman, I don't see anything that tells me he's not going to go well again. And I've mentioned before that I think the new environment, pitch clock, etc., suits him. So yeah, give me the Cubs here at minus 110, Munaf.
Yeah, 12 shutout innings so far for Marcus Stroman, like you've mentioned. He's just off to a really good start. I know last year he was struggling, I believe, in Wrigley Field if you looked at his splits, but it seems like he's figured it out. I'm going to back the Cubs in the first 5 innings here. I think that Stroman can continue pitching well, even though it is against a better offense in the Seattle Mariners. But I'm going to continue riding the hot hand here. Maybe look at a strikeout prop for Marcus Stroman. I didn't completely dig into it, but he has had 6 strikeouts and 8 strikeouts in his first 2 starts, respectively. So first 5 inning money line for the Cubs for me.
Okay, Noah, team ride on the Cubs?
Yeah, I'm right there with you guys. I like the Cubs, and I like Stroman over Gilbert. And I was one of the few that kind of was on the handicap of Logan Gilbert sophomore slump year. And like you mentioned, first start in Wrigley, I think that might affect the kid as well. And I am a little bit higher on Stroman now after he pitched well in the WBC. He's had 2 great starts here early on in the MLB. I picked him up on my Dynasty League fantasy team, Malcolm. I think there's some good things here to come for Stroman down the road. He might have unlocked something with this new slider. So I'm on the Cubs for this game.
Yeah, that is a nice pickup. Sneaky, no, I didn't notice him. Okay. 3:10 Eastern first pitch. The St. Louis Cardinals at the Colorado Rockies. Jack Flaherty goes for the Cards. My mate Jose Urena will go for the Rockies, who are plus 160 home underdogs. The Cards are minus 180. The total here is 28.5. Well, it's not, but it should be. The total is actually 12.5. Munaf. I mean, what to do with this? This was a head scratcher, man.
Yeah, I mean, do I really need to handicap this game when you say that you have Jose Urena pitching for the Colorado Rockies? He just has not been very good to start the season for the Rockies. 0-2, 14.0 ERA. He hasn't made it past the 3rd inning either of his starts. He's 4 earned runs in each of the 2 starts this season. Walks are a huge concern for him. Despite having a 2-1 record against the Cardinals, he does have a 7.66 ERA in that span. Jack Flaherty, I think he's been fortunate a little bit, Malcolm. I know he is 1-1 with a 1.80 ERA. The biggest issue right now with him is that the number of walks that he has allowed. Right now, at least in the first 2 games, it hasn't come to bite him in the ass because he has given up a total of 13 walks so far to start the season. He has been solid against the Rockies in his career, where he is 2-1 with a 1.96 ERA. But all those starts against the Rockies have come in St. Louis. And we talk about going to Coors Field in altitude, everything does change, especially for pitchers. He also has been pretty solid in his career during the day. Has Jack Flaherty. He has 15-10 with a 2.79 ERA. I think the one way to I think you have to go with the Cardinals. There's no way I'm putting my money on Jose Urena here. I think you go Cardinals first 5 run line. You could take for the full game minus 1.5, and I think I'm all over the Cardinals team totals in this game. I think this could be a game where they do put up 6, 7, 8, maybe even 10 runs in this game against Jose Urena. So Cardinals run line full game minus 1.5, and then first 5 team total over, and then full game team total for me.
Okay, so it's runs. It's just which way you dress it up. Noah, what did you arrive at?
So can you guys see me, hear me?
We can see you, yes.
It's not an MLB Gambling Podcast episode if technology doesn't go haywire. My computer
this week has been a shambles, yeah.
My computer's completely frozen. I can't flip back to our stream to watch you guys, so I can't even see if I'm working. But I think Munaf hammered the point home, and this is my angle for the day. April 12th, Cardinals fans should be watching the AAA game. Here's why. The starting pitching has been pretty bad overall to start the season. Matthew Liberatore starts for the AAA team. So far in the minor leagues, he's 2-0 with a 0 ERA, 14 strikeouts, 4 walks in 10 innings. Spring training, he was 2-0 with a 1.8 ERA, 9 strikeouts, 2 walks in 10 innings. That's better than Miles Michaelis so far this year with a 9.64, and he was a rough in the WBC. That's better than Steven Matz with an 8.18 ERA, and that's better than who is the other? It's Woodford.
Yeah, no, Woodford.
Woodford's been off to a rough start too. I think he's got like a 9.64 ERA. So if Liberatore does well in the minors here on this start, you got to call him up. So, I mean, I'm on the Cardinals money line for the Rockies. However, Cardinals fans should be rooting for this Liberatore kid. He's a nice lefty in the minors. Bringing him up instantly would make him top 3 in this rotation, I think.
Yeah, we saw Liberatore a few times last season, but yeah, I think he'd be ready to go this time around. This is runs for me. That total is high, 12.5. But I think we can get there. Why not? So I'll take the over. We'll move on once I've told you about sword vitality. Self-care is cool and manly. You should be proud of taking care of yourself. 40% of men are affected by impotence at age 40 and nearly 70% at age 70. So stop buying dodgy little blue pills from gas stations that you hide in your sock drawer. Take care of your plumbing. Sword vitality helps increase your blood flow in ways that help you thrive as a man. And it should be comfortable as anything else men talk about with their partners. The 3 main benefits are increased blood flow in ways that help you thrive as a man in the bedroom. Sword vitality can help increase your stamina, and you don't have to hide it. You can be proud of it. Unsheath your sword. Visit swordvitality.com. Use the promo code SGPN for a night discount at the checkout. That's swordvitality.com. Promo code SGPN. 3:40 Eastern first pitch is the Milwaukee Brewers at the Arizona Diamondbacks. Brandon Woodruff goes for the Brewers. Dre Jameson is on the hill for the D-backs. Plus 115, home puppies, Arizona. The Brewers minus 135, total at 8.5. And we'll throw this across to Noah. And I definitely know which way you're going to handicap this. Go. Have we lost Noah? Well, I can. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. Okay, well, luckily I knew what he was going to say, as I just pointed out, so I can say it on his behalf. We like Dre Jameson. Noah does. I do. We picked him up in our TGFBI league. He'd already had a couple of appearances in the bullpen. He'd been hanging around the back end of that pen. I think he picked up a save one day last week. But really, he's one of these young arms that Arizona have been waiting on. They have 3 or 4 in the queue. We've seen Ryan Nelson already this season. Zach Davis has got to the IL for Arizona, which is great news because Zach Davis was doing nothing but block people, really. I'm not sure what they were achieving by continuing to trot him out. This could be a great thing. Zach Davis going to the IL and Jameson coming in could be a great thing for Arizona. Woodruff, he hasn't started great. What concerns me most, this Brewers lineup, is that they're kind of up to their old tricks again. I got out on them round about a third of the way through the season last year. And not an awful lot's changed. So I think a home start for Jameson. We do like taking rookies in these spots, Munaf. We've done it a lot in the past. The Diamondbacks on the money line for me is going to be the play at plus 115.
Yeah, Brandon Woodruff, he is off to a good start here, Mal, to the season. He's faced 2 division opponents in the Cardinals and the Cubs. Obviously, teams that he's familiar with and knows their ways. But this Diamondbacks team is a completely different team from what we've seen over the past 2 seasons. They're putting up runs. They're pitching pretty well. Brandon Woodruff in 7 appearances against the Diamondbacks in his career, 2-1 with a 4.28 ERA. Has struggled a little bit against the Diamondbacks. I'm going to continue riding the hot hand here. I'm glad that you said that Zach Davies has gone to the IL because we need every win that we can get because we gave out the Diamondbacks at 40-1 to win the division. They're off to a really good start here. So, yeah, I'll take the home puppy with you.
Okay. Noah might have returned. Noah, give us a little thumbs up or a wave if you can hear us. Nah, not happening. Okay. We'll come back to Noah. Briefly, next up, 4:05 Eastern first pitch is the Miami Marlins at the Philadelphia Phillies. Is that you back, Noah? Edward Cabrera. No, okay. Edward Cabrera goes for Miami, and Zach Wheeler is on the hill for Philadelphia. Miami